The gravel crunched softly beneath our shoes as we walked side by side, following the narrow footpath that curved along the lake's edge. The evening had turned cooler, the breeze gentle, carrying the mingled scents of pine, damp earth, and the faintest trace of blooming jasmine from the garden behind the hotel. Above us, the sky was awash in twilight, deep indigo fading toward charcoal at the edges, with the first stars peeking out. Timid, uncertain, like witnesses afraid to interrupt. Charles walked with his hands in his pockets. Casual, but not careless. His strides were steady, matching mine exactly, as though his body had already memorized my pace before his mind could catch up. For a while, neither of us spoke. It wasn't an awkward silence. It was the kind of quiet that settles between people who somehow already understand that words are only a fraction of the conversation. The lake shimmered beside us, dark and glassy, reflecting the star-pricked sky as though the earth itself had doubled. Ripples caught stray beams of light and scattered them in waves of silver. "It's beautiful here," I finally said, my voice softer than usual, as though speaking too loudly might fracture whatever spell we were under.
"It is,"
he agreed, glancing sideways at me.
"I often think it's one of those rare places where time doesn't rush forward the way it does elsewhere."
My breath caught. A subtle shiver, not from cold, from recognition. "That's an interesting way to put it," I replied carefully. He smiled faintly, gaze drifting back toward the water.
"Sometimes I wonder if places remember things. People, moments, as though the past lingers just beneath the surface waiting."
I swallowed, hard. I think you might be right." He slowed slightly, turning to face me fully now, hands slipping out of his pockets.
"Forgive me,"
he said.
"but I have to ask. This may sound strange, but have we met? Truly?"
His eyes searched mine, not demanding, but pleading in a quiet, vulnerable way. "I don't know," I whispered, unable to stop the truth from trembling out of me. "But it feels like I've known you forever." The air between us grew impossibly still. Even the breeze seemed to hold its breath. Charles's gaze softened. His lips parted slightly, then pressed back together as though he was weighing whether to believe his senses or his heart.
"I thought..."
he began, then paused, struggling for words.
"I thought I was imagining it. When you walked into the lounge earlier, that sense that I knew you, or should have."
I felt it too, I admitted. His eyes held mine.
"It's impossible, isn't it?"
My pulse thudded against my ribs. "Isn't it?" For a moment longer, we stood there, caught between the safety of reason and the terrifying, beautiful gravity of something neither of us could yet explain. Then he smiled again, smaller this time, sadder.
"You must think me completely mad."
"No," I breathed. "Not at all." He tilted his head, curious now.
"Then, who are you? Where did you come from?"
I opened my mouth. The answer trembled on my lips. 2025. 70 years from now. Here, for you. But the words wouldn't come. Not yet. Instead, I smiled gently, heart pounding. "I suppose you could say I'm someone who was always meant to be here." We continued walking. Slower now, closer. Not so close that we touched, not yet, but close enough that if one of us stumbled, the other's instinct would be to catch them without hesitation. Charles kicked a small pebble along the path, hands back in his pockets, glancing over at me with a mix of curiosity and caution.
"You speak?"
he said quietly.
"Like someone who knows things others don't."
I smiled, though it faltered a little. I suppose I do. He let the statement linger, neither challenging nor retreating from it.
But you're not from here.
He said after a pause. I stiffened, pulse quickening. What makes you say that?
The way you look at everything.
He replied, not unkindly.
It's as though you're seeing it for the first time. And yet, somehow, like you already miss it.
His observation hit too close, too accurate. I wrapped my arms around myself, gaze dropping to the path beneath our feet. You're not wrong. Another long silence, not uncomfortable, but heavy, laden with the questions neither of us dared to fully voice. Then softly, as though he was offering me an exit or an invitation, he said,
You don't have to tell me, of course. Not if it's something difficult.
I glanced up at him. The kindness in his eyes undid me a little. I wish I could, I whispered. I really do. He stopped walking. The sudden halt made me turn toward him, breath catching.
I don't know why,
Charles said, voice low but steady.
but I don't feel afraid of you. Not even confused, really. It's strange. I should be. I should be asking where you came from, who you are, why you feel so familiar. But
His eyes held mine, unwavering.
I'm not.
His chest rose, then fell slowly, like someone making peace with something quietly unfathomable.
Instead,
He continued.
I feel as though I've spent my entire life waiting for you to arrive.
The words hit me like a wave. Beautiful, terrifying, honest. I swallowed back the ache rising in my throat. Charles. He stepped a fraction closer, just close enough that I could feel the warmth of him.
Is it possible
He asked, barely above a whisper.
to miss someone before you've even met them?
I blinked rapidly, fighting the sting behind my eyes. Yes, I whispered. God, yes, it is. Neither of us moved. Neither of us needed to. For in that breath of a moment, beneath borrowed stars and the shimmering mirror of the lake, something unspoken passed between us. A vow written without words. A recognition deeper than time. And both of us knew, without understanding how, that nothing would ever be the same again. The path curved gently toward the edge of the lake, where a small wooden dock jutted out into the water. It was old but sturdy, worn smooth by decades of footsteps, summer breezes, and whispered conversations like ours. Charles stepped onto it first, glancing back to offer me his hand.
Careful, it wobbles a bit.
I hesitated for a breath, not because I needed the help, but because the simple gesture stirred something deep, something that made my fingers tremble as they slipped into his. His hand was warm, solid, real. The truth of that nearly undid me. We stood together at the dock's edge, the lake stretching out before us like a liquid mirror of the sky. Stars scattered across both heavens, the one above and the one below. There was no clear line where the world ended and the reflection began. It felt fitting, a place between worlds, between times. He exhaled softly, as if the beauty of the moment weighed on him.
It's strange
He murmured.
how something can feel both brand new and like it's always been waiting.
I tightened my grip on his hand, speaking before fear could silence me. Do you ever wonder if time isn't as rigid as we think? If some moments aren't bound by it? His gaze flicked to mine, sharp yet gentle, searching.
I do now.
A small, breathless laugh escaped me, half relief, half disbelief. I wish I could explain it, I whispered. I wish I could tell you everything, but His thumb brushed over my knuckles, stopping the words.
You don't have to.
He said.
Not yet.
I looked at him, really looked. The curve of his mouth, the subtle furrow between his brows, the softness in his eyes that carried something unspoken, like a melody without words. And in that moment, the truth hit me, sharp and undeniable. I was falling in love with him, hopelessly, irrevocably, as though I had always been. And even worse, or better, I was sure somehow that he was falling too. A breeze stirred across the water, cool but gentle. The hem of my dress fluttered against my ankles, and for one fragile heartbeat, I imagined this dock, this lake, this night, existing forever, outside the reach of calendars or clocks. A sanctuary where time simply waited, where it stood still, where two people from impossibly different worlds could meet, could be, could belong. Charles broke the silence first. His voice was quiet, careful.
I don't know how long you'll stay, or how long this will last, but
He hesitated, then drew in a breath like gathering courage.
I hope it's long enough.
The ache in my chest was almost unbearable. I hope so too, I whispered, blinking against the sting of unshed tears. More than anything, his hand tightened around mine. And together, beneath a sky that belonged to both the past and the future, we stood at the edge of forever, knowing that whatever this was, however impossible, it had already changed everything.